In the quiet corners of a bustling city stood a small diner that most people forgot existed. Early every morning, before the sun rose and before customers arrived, a young black waitress named Mila unlocked the door, tied on her faded apron, and prepared for another long day. Life had never been gentle with her, yet her heart remained warm. She had dreams that reached far beyond the greasy floors and chipped coffee cups, but responsibility always kept her grounded. Her mother was ill at home, medical bills piled high, and the wages from the diner barely kept the lights on. Still, she greeted every new day with resilience because she believed kindness mattered, even when the world did not notice. One gray morning, the bell above the entrance chimed softly as an old man walked in alone, shivering, tired, and perhaps forgotten by time. His clothes were worn, his beard untrimmed, and shadows of loneliness followed him like a quiet ghost. That single moment would change both of their lives forever. If you believe in kindness and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more heart-touching stories like this one. Mila approached the old man, who sat silently at a corner booth. She poured him a cup of coffee, but he barely lifted his eyes to acknowledge her. She noticed how he held the cup tightly, as if gathering warmth after years of feeling cold inside. Without asking, she brought him a complimentary slice of toast, lightly buttered. He did not speak. He simply nodded with gratitude. That silent nod planted something in Mila's heart, a gentle connection that transcended words. The old man returned the next day. Then the day after that. Soon, he became part of her routine. She learned that he did not speak much because talking hurt more than silence. He had once lived a full life, but he had been abandoned by those he loved and cheated by those he trusted. He never revealed his name, and she never asked. Instead, she offered warmth in other ways. She would refill his cup before he finished it. She would slip extra soup on his tray and pretend it was a mistake. She would smile at him, reminding him that someone still noticed he existed. Each morning, she watched him sit alone, staring out the window as if searching for something that had been lost long ago. His eyes were gentle, but filled with stories he carried like heavy stones. Mila tried not to pry, yet she could not ignore the ache in his posture or the tremor in his hands. She understood suffering because she lived with it too. Although her kindness did not erase his pain, it gave him a moment of peace. Days turned to weeks, and though their relationship remained wordless, it grew stronger than most friendships built on thousands of conversations. One freezing winter morning, the old man arrived late, drenched in rain. He looked weaker than she had ever seen him. Mila guided him to his usual seat and set a blanket over his shoulders that she had brought from home. She told herself she would not allow him to freeze alone in a cold world. She called a local clinic, begging them to check on him. They dismissed her concern, brushing off an old homeless man as someone unworthy of their time. Anger surged within her, but she swallowed it because she knew arguing would change nothing. So she did what she always did. She stayed by his side. As days passed, the old man's health faded. Still, he came to see her, perhaps because she was his last thread of hope. Mila saved money from her tiny paycheck to buy him warm gloves and medicine. She cooked extra food so she could pack him something for later. She walked him to the bus stop to ensure he got somewhere safe. Each act of kindness might have seemed small, but for a lonely soul, it meant everything. She never once expected anything in return. She simply cared because she believed humanity should be protected from the cruelty of indifference. One morning, Mila waited for him but he did not come. Her heart tightened. She checked the door every minute, hoping his familiar silhouette would appear. He never did. For days, she worried silently. She whispered prayers on her break, begging that he would be okay. The diner felt colder without him. The seat he always occupied seemed painfully empty. She began to wonder if she had been too late, if the world had taken him away because it always took the good things first. Then, exactly 1 week later, the bell rang louder than usual. Four towering bodyguards entered the diner, dressed in expensive suits that did not belong in such a humble place. Behind them walked two stern-faced lawyers, their briefcases heavy and their eyes alert. Mila froze with confusion. Everyone in the diner stared, discomfort rippling through the room. The lawyers scanned the area until their gaze settled on her. They asked for her by name. She nodded, her breath trembling. The bodyguards stepped aside, and from behind them, the old man appeared. Clean-shaven. Dressed in a luxurious coat. Standing taller than she had ever seen him. The transformation was shocking. Tears filled Mila's eyes. She rushed to him carefully, unsure whether to hug him or step back. The old man smiled for the first time. Not a small nod, not a fleeting curl of lips, but a full smile filled with life. He reached into his coat and pulled out a letter. His hands no longer shook. The lead lawyer explained that the old man was not homeless nor abandoned. He was a billionaire, one of the most powerful and influential businessmen in the country. Months earlier, he had lost his will to live after being betrayed by family and partners. He had gone undercover to see if any kindness remained in the world. He had been waiting for even one human soul to treat him as a person rather than a transaction. He found that soul in her. The letter stated that Mila was now the chief beneficiary in his renewed will. He had decided to give her not charity, but partnership. She would become co-founder of a massive philanthropic foundation dedicated to supporting people like him who fall through society's cracks. She would have a new condo close to the facility, an annual salary that exceeded her wildest imaginings, and full funding for her mother's treatment. Everything she had struggled for would finally find relief. Her knees nearly gave out beneath her. The old man held her hand gently, reminding her that kindness always returns in unexpected ways. The news spread quickly. Cameras followed. Journalists wrote headlines about the waitress whose humanity saved a billionaire's life. Yet Mila remained humble. She continued visiting the diner, always greeting staff as equals. She never let money change her soul. She used her new position to fight for dignity, to offer second chances to forgotten people, and to treat every individual as someone who deserved respect. She carried the blanket she had wrapped around the old man as a reminder that love is the greatest investment of all. Her mother received the treatment she desperately needed and soon returned home with renewed strength. The foundation flourished, changing thousands of lives. Through it all, the old man remained by her side, cherishing the person who reminded him that wealth means nothing without compassion. Mila often thought about the day he sat silently in the diner booth with nothing but a cup of coffee and a heart filled with sorrow. It amazed her how one tiny act of kindness had rewritten both of their destinies. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who needs a reminder that good people still exist. Before this story ends, kindly comment below and tell us whether you believe kindness can still change the world. Mila's journey proved that heroes do not always wear armor or command armies. Sometimes heroes wear aprons and serve coffee with a smile. Her life became a testament to the idea that empathy is powerful enough to heal wounds deeper than anyone can see. The old man regained his will to live because someone saw value in him even when he believed he had none. She reminded him that every human soul deserves to feel seen, heard, and loved. Both of them found family in a place neither expected. No matter how successful the foundation became, the old man always said his greatest victory was meeting a waitress who never gave up on goodness. Mila often walked through the foundation halls, seeing people smile because of opportunities they thought they would never receive. She would pause and silently thank the universe for placing a lonely old man in her diner on that cold morning. The chair he once sat in at the diner was preserved as a memory. Sometimes, she visited that booth during quiet mornings. She would sit, closing her eyes, recalling how one silent nod had changed everything. The world outside remained chaotic and unpredictable, but inside that place, kindness had lived and blossomed into something extraordinary. In the end, Mila understood one profound truth. A single act of compassion can echo into eternity. The love you share today can save someone tomorrow. What you give freely returns in forms you least expect. Her journey became living proof that humanity is not measured by what we accumulate, but by what we extend to others. Thank you for watching.